All right, if you reboot something, how many times can you do it? I guess with Windows, we're in what, Windows 10, right? 15, something like that. Well, Hillary Clinton is trying to reboot her image, talking about showing more humor, more wit, more spontaneity on the stump, because that's the way she is, and she doesn't think the public knows it. The problem is the public has known her now for several decades, so it might be a case of too little too late. And then they had insult to injury. You had David Axelrod tweeting this, today's New York Times story on HRC, which is, I know where this is going, Hillary Rodham Clinton, read more like The Onion, her detailed plan to show more authenticity and spontaneity. Just do it. All right, now that's a rap against her from a guy who we'd think would avoid nasty tweets about Hillary Clinton. But the Washington Examiner's Tim Carty says something is going on here. Is it too late to make a better impression? What do you think, Tim?
Well, she has been in the public eye for 30 years, more than that, as you said. And I think it would be difficult for her personally to actually pull this off. I mean, planning spontaneity might make sense in some context, but coming from Hillary Clinton, it means they're going to run like focus groups, spend tens of thousands of dollars to come up with what sort of witty things she should say or exactly how she should dance with, Ellen DeGeneres today or that sort of thing. But is it too late? Anytime anyone says that in politics, you've got to look at the calendar. We are 4 months out from Iowa. Anything could change. She could even become sort of almost likable, or likable enough, as Obama would say, between now and January.
All right. Now, if there's such a thing as a good time to be, having a tough time, it's now. In other words, now the expectations could change with her trailing Bernie Sanders in New Hampshire, with her having a real fight in Iowa. You could come away from that and say, what better time to sort of change the perception than now? But what I'm wondering is how you change your personal perception and do so convincingly. Exactly. I guess Richard Nixon tried to a degree from the campaign he ran in 1960 against John F. Kennedy to the one he ran in 1968. But even then, it doesn't basically change the person. Can she pull this off?
I think that's exactly the right question. What you've seen in the past is candidates who themselves they get overcoached, they get boxed in, and there's the let him be himself, let Reagan be Reagan, or that sort of thing. And so where their real personality can come out, to say I'm going to get a personality transplant, that doesn't work. So obviously the Hillary people are framing this as, oh well, she really is this fun-loving, spontaneous person.
But maybe it's there. Maybe it's there. Now, I've seen her, in these sort of unscripted venues. This is going back some time here, where I think when the people are away from her and the handlers, and this applies to the right and the left, the candidate, unless he or she is a total dunce, will invariably do better. And I think she hinted at some of that in her interview with Andrea Mitchell last week. I want you to react to this.
What are you binge watching? Right now, we were so late in watching House of Cards. We're nearly done with the season.
Text or email? I'm not sure that's appropriate, but we asked Jeb Bush, so we're asking you.
Email.
All right, in an interview with ABC Today, we're told that she apologized for all that email controversy. Having said that, can she endear herself? I mean, if you think about it, Mitt Romney did so ironically after the fact with that Netflix documentary that showed a far more human side, probably in his case too late. But we all are human beings, right? We all have a different, side that maybe is not always shown to the public. But I always wonder, can it work for politicians? What do you think?
I think with many politicians, again, it can work. But the problem is that it just has seemed that, I mean, what are her hobbies? Like Romney and these other guys, they have their exercise or they have a hobby or they go hunting. With Hillary Clinton, it kind of seems like she has spent 40 years trying to become president of the United States. So that makes it harder for her to humanize herself. And when she does other things, it seems like she's doing it so that she can become likable. So I'm going to say anything's possible in politics, but I do not see her becoming sort of human, jovial, and that likable in the next 4 months.
We'll see. All right, Bill de Blasio, meanwhile, you got some company after this.